Hi, and good morning. Welcome to day 24. All right. Well, I have made a couple changes. You could probably see something really cool in here. First and foremost, I am so happy. I mean, every day I say this, I'm excited, but really, I am at a point of learning a ton, and I love seeing the progress on this. As as I pick up new concepts, as I pick up new things that I want to try out, when I put them in and they work, of course, it's so freaking cool. I mean, that's the life of a software engineer in general. I think one of my favorite things is as I'm doing the game development, I actually get to touch and feel and try things out and share it with you. So I have made it really simple to add new levels. I have made it I have taken the concepts that I did from day 23, everything that I showed you, of simply being able to add a spawner, add the location that they want to go to, and then everything just kind of walks along that path. So real quick, I want to make sure that I showed everything because I know I was really excited. I know I showed the blue for the actual navigation. But I wasn't sure if I actually showed how I drew that on and how I set that up. So I'm going to hit on that real quick, and then we're going to get into what happened today. So yesterday, as we were looking through, what we had, what I changed, I showed you that now the enemies are no longer walking on a line that's been predetermined by them. We're allowing them to have a little more thought to be able to find the best path from where they are to their final destination. And we finally have a base. It's just the Godot logo for now, but it's a placeholder. I'm terrible with assets. I'm just throwing it in. That's okay. We can worry about that later. I did plant a seed in my daughter's ear, and I'm hoping that she'll help me build it up. Otherwise, I'm going to go a couple days rogue. I'm going to show you little clips of pixel art that I'm making over these hours of learning, and then one day they're just going to be in there. I don't know if it's going to look good. I didn't think that my stuff was terrible when I was playing with the farm game, but honestly, I mean, I'm not a designer. But one of these days, maybe what I'll do is after the 60 days, I'll do another 60 days of learning how to do pixel art. And maybe at the end of 60 days, I'll be really good. Or I'll be exactly where I am now, but I'll know how to put art on the screen. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at what I want to show you. So if I go to one of my maps, so let's go to level 1, and I want to actually look at the screen. So this is the map that everybody's familiar with. If you remember, we created this table, this tile map layer, and we added a tile set to it. So inside of the tile set, you recall we were able to actually add a terrain. So the terrain allows us to paint the terrain, and when you start mapping out the pieces, Godot just kind of figures out how everything falls together. So if we take a look at tile map layer, tile set, you know what? I'm clicking on the wrong screen. I'm clicking on, we take a look at tile set. We can come over here to paint, and I'm going to look like a bit of a doofus right now because I need to go to the actual tile set. All right, cool. I got that mistake out of the way. All right. So if we go into the tile set, we can go into paint. We can see, I already have navigation layer set up, but we have terrains. And over here on the right-hand side, we have our terrain sets. So with the terrain sets, when we build this up, we are, oh, come on. They say don't game on a Mac. We have our terrain set. Everything should be matching. We've been able to draw all of our pieces. And it's not showing up right now. That's a little concerning for me. I'm going to worry about that later. But let's go ahead and take a look at navigation layer. So this is really what I put a lot of focus on yesterday, part of day 23. So I drew in all of the different places where navigation can take place. You see it's very crude. There has to be a better way to be able to draw these. I'm not super happy with what I have on here because effectively you have to click one of these and then you have to draw what you want it to look like. So you activate it, you draw it, and then you'll click it again to apply. That doesn't feel good because now when you click on the next one, it applies to the next one. So you're applying the same navigation layer. You're painting it on each one that you click. I'll find a better way to do it. In the meantime, we have our navigation layer. I'm not super disappointed. So let's go over to level 1 again. You can see I have the other levels up. Let's go into debug, and I believe there's a way that I can actually show it as we go on here. Navigation, visibility, force show. There we go. So you can see it auto paints it on there. I have the lines. It's not perfect. It's not the best, but it works, and the enemies can go from point A to point B. Why is this important, and why did I show you this? Because this is the ground of everything that I have been doing. This is what sets everything in motion. So let's go back and start at the main menu. You see we have a few additional levels on here. I moved the scripts into the main menu, and when we press, I have a little bit added to the game state manager. Now you're going to see some pretty crude method pattern for how I'm coding this, and the idea is I was able to get everything working, and there will be some refactoring at some point. It sounds like probably something I might do outside and come back in, but really I want to be able to get the concepts in of how to make this functionality work and how to put all these pieces together. So when level 1 is pressed, I have 1 that I'm passing in. So this is the value that's going to determine which map I'm actually showing. In the new game method, what we're doing is we're setting a level as part of the level map manager, which is going to have all of our preloads. Let me go ahead and pull that up. It's going to have all of our resources predefined, which the resources are going to have a name. They're going to have the location of the enemy spawner, the location of the final base, the final destination for the enemies, and then it's also going to have the map. So 1 has all the information needed to be able to render the map and get the enemies going from point A to point B. It's really cool. So as you can see in here, I just put some if conditions. I just kept it real simple. I mean, this really needs to just be else if. I mean, else, is it just else if? I mean, we'll figure out the logic in there. But otherwise, it's always going to be 3. So 1 is always going to be that. You know what? It has return statements in there. I'm not concerned. We're good. All right. So it defaults to 1, which, as you can see, really isn't accurate. I can even remove that out of there and everything's going to function fine. What I do is I get an array. It's going to be an array range of 1 to 3. The set level, so when we call in here, if the number is not part of the available numbers, which I just have hard coded, we'll make this beautiful, then it's going to go ahead and kick it out. Otherwise, it's going to set the level to that. So in the main menu, when I click on level 1, it'll set it to level 1, level 2, 2, 3, and 3, right? The next thing that it's going to do as part of the game state manager is it's going to call main level. I have a single place where all of these maps are going to be loaded. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. So let's go into the map level. You're all familiar with this. It's just a little less beautiful than what we're used to. And as you can see on there, there are no default towers. That's something that could be added later as part of each individual map is, do we want to provide the player with towers? No, I don't. I'm actually going to just be providing them with money. So I'm going to give them a little extra money so they can buy 3 towers. So we're defaulting to $300. There's a little bit of a bug also where it's defaulting to $300, but it's still showing 0, which is what we have up here. Whatever. Again, we'll get past that stuff. Everything's going to work out. So we have our main menu where we click our level. We have our map, our game state manager, which is going to go ahead and set the level. Let's go back to the game state manager real quick. The game state manager is going to go ahead and set that level that's been called in the main menu when you click on it. The next thing is it's going to actually set what we're going to be looking at. So we're setting the scene to the main level, which can be any map. It has the UI. It has all the logic that's needed to be able to get the enemies from going from point A to point B. Last thing, it's going to say start game. So when start game is called, this is where I need to go into that currency manager. You know what? Do we go in the currency manager and go ahead and make that fix? Why not? So let's go here, currency manager. We're going to say on game state, we're going to set the currency to 300. When we say set currency. So this is a state that's actually happening within global. It's not something that's happening at a level that is within that scene. So if we say start game at this point and the scene is not loaded, it's not going to pick up on the signal. So that's something that's why it's happening. So we set it to 300, but really the currency has changed, but the scene hasn't loaded up, so it's still 0. So when we spend the money, you're going to see that it's going to change back down to 200 instead of 300 because it's 100 for the first tower. You'll get it. The next step that we have is actually part of the main controller. The main controller is what is on that main game, and the name is from the original when I first started building this. I love the name. I'm sticking with it. So, but one of the first things that we're going to be doing and taking a look at is we have the enemy spawn, we have a map layer, and we have the final base. So these are the 3 things that are needed to be able to do the thing. We have tile map layer, and we have the level map data. This looks like an absolute mess. Let's make it more pretty, and then I'll start moving things around some other time. So when we are ready, I have removed the start game logic from here because start game is not start game as we're familiar with anymore, because remember, now we're setting what map is. So we now have the load map, which is going to be handling the logic that we need to get the map ready. So first things first, we need to get the map. So the level map manager, the map is really the map data. So this is providing us with the resources that we've been building up. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. It's small, but it's good. It's good stuff. Anyways, we have the name, the spawn location, the final boss location, and the map scene. We use the map scene instead of actually providing a full scene, because a packed scene, a resource cannot hold another node. It is simply a data layer. That's something I just learned today. So we're going to provide a packed scene that something else can instantiate. So let's go back to the game, not game state manager, the main controller. You're going to see the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a child to this map layer. Map layer over on the left-hand side is the very top thing. We're going to throw the map into there. Then we're going to instantiate it. So we're actually going to unpack it, and we're going to have a new object. We're going to have a new node. So it's going to say map layer, and then we're going to have our map. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set the spawn locations for the enemy and the final base. The order of the nodes within the map layer have changed a little bit because the map layer is no longer at the root. So I did start creating this get tile map layer, which grabs that first child from this parent. So this adds a little bit of additional logic, but reusable logic that we can use in different areas. It doesn't have that initial reference, but it's not really called a lot. So because it's only called a few times in this instance, I'm okay with this logic. Anytime I'm doing something that's UI related and it's only going to have a few things, I try to weigh if it's going to be a burden on the CPU, GPU, on the processing, or if it's something that I can go ahead and it's just going to happen a few times. So we'll just continuously do this. It's a lot less thought process too. That's really a thing. So thought process for me, thought process for it. But if it's something like bullet where we are absolutely going to a point, I'm going to find the easiest way to be able to set that up. I'm not going towards an enemy anymore. We're going towards a point. So I only need those coordinates. I don't need anything else. Anyways, excuse me. So the next thing at this point, we have our enemy spawn. We have our final base. We have our map. That's it. That's it. Let's go ahead and play real quick. So let me, for some reason, it keeps loading behind the Godot engine. So level 1. Oh, of course, I'm still showing the navigation layers, but that's okay. See my enemy up at the top. I don't have it. Oh, I don't have any towers. Whoopsies. All right. So we have the towers. Everything looks good. Let me go back here. Let's go to the TileSet, navigation, and that's default. Oh, I did it on the individual level 1. I'm pretty sure I did it on level 1. Oh no, I'm sorry. I turned it on here. Okay, cool. And that's fine. And if I don't turn it off now, that's cool too. Okay, it's off. All right. So we have a level 1. You see $0. I'm going to spend 100. It's going to come up. Again, it's just about timing. So at the point of when we start the game, I should probably call out to the currency manager and just get the most recent. It's fine. Not a big deal. So, I got that guy through. No. So the next thing is, let's go ahead and end the game. Let's go to level 2. Let's watch this. Look, the map's different. We have a new spot. We have a new spawn point, and everything just loads. That's really cool. I'm really happy with that. Let's get out of here before they damage us. And I'm going to go to level 3. Here we go. So, feels good. Anyways, so let me show you what the process actually looks like to build a new map. So I was really excited. I called my wife and youngest in and I said, hey, come take a look at this cool stuff. Watch me build a map. And it was like 2 minutes flat. So don't hold me to the timing. I'll check the timing later. It's cool. So if I want to add a new layer, a new level, first thing I'm just doing copy pasta and I'm cool with that. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate this and we're going to say level 4. Level 4 is being built up. I'm going to come to these. I'm going to rename them to 4. And we're going to go to this one. And we're going to go to 4. And let's go ahead and take a look at the scene. So we have the same scene as we had before. I'm going to go down over to the tile map layer. And let's do tile map. I'm going to do the square. And I'm going to go do delete because I don't want any of these. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my draw. I'm going to grab a tile. Let's get that dude. And then let's get rid of those two. All right, so we have a fresh map. Well, I should probably just create a fresh map so I don't have to do that every time. Why don't I? Let's go ahead and just do level template. Let's do that. All right. And then if I go here, let's go level 0. And let's do level 0 because why not? All right, cool. So we're building up our template. Let's go ahead and save that. And then one more time, I'm going to go and duplicate this. And this is going to be 004. You know what? Template, you're going to be 000. All right, there's our template. So let's go ahead and get out of the template. Let's reset ourselves. Let's go to 4 and we're going to do 4 and we're going to do 4. Oh goodness, I already did that one. All right, 4 scene in here. I don't want to think too much about this. So let's go into the map layer. I'm going to snag my terrain 0 and I'm just going to, let's just do the letter J. How about Z? Let's do a Z. I'm cool with a Z. So let's start up here in the top left. I'm going to go a few out because that's where I'd like to have my spawner. Oh, I don't like that so much, but, and you know what? That is an ugly Z, but it is our Z. There's a couple standards I want to keep with this one. is that I want to try and keep away from the edge as much as possible. That's a personal thing, possibly. So let's go a few. So we'll come right here, and then we'll start coming over again, right like that, and then over. All right. So let's go ahead and clear some of this off real fast, and I'm going to connect to this. All right. So I'm not crazy about how this came out, but that's probably OCD at this point. All right. So a couple things that I want to look at. One, where's my spawn point? So I want my spawn point to be up here in the top left somewhere, so it's going to be on the map. So if in the bottom left-hand corner right here, you see there's a couple numbers, and it's a little small, but I see a -4 and 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up this resource here. Now, enemy spawner, -4 and 1. And then we're going to come over here to the right side, and I'm going to say, what is that? 3219. So 3219. I mean, that's it. That's it. And look, it already has 4 seen and it's done. All right. Now, I talked a lot. I was able to show how quick and easy that, that's it. Oh, you know what? Okay. I lied. Let me show you the last thing, okay? So let's go here. Let's do paint bucket. Let's grab these. Let's hit the dice, and we have grass. Isn't that really cool? All right. So and now how do we put all this together? Because that's gone. So let's go into our global. Let's go into our level map manager. I'm just going to copy paste 4. And of course, I could do this so much easier by just copying or by dragging and dropping from that left side. I'm sure that there is so much easier way to do things. What am I trying to say? But for the sake of showing this off, I'm content. I was able to learn a lot. Let's bump this up to 5. We're going to go one more up. That's it. Let's go over to our main menu real quick. So main menu .Godot. We're going to go ahead and, why not? Let's just go ahead and go a little ahead. Let's hit 4, and then we'll go to the actual scene itself. We're running out of room, but that's okay. I'm going to throw one more on here, and then we will find a better way to do this. I believe I'm going to make a scene in between, which just has screenshots of all the different maps, and you just select the one you want. I think that's pretty cool. And then eventually I can lock them. You have to complete waves. Okay, I need to get the waves in place. But at that point, I can have level 1 locked until, level 2 locked until you complete 1, 3 locked until you complete 2. So it is a progressive type thing. And so, but once I get waves in there and you complete it, only then can you see those. So I am also looking for a little bit more of a hook than really just completing the waves. I think that there can be a little more of an objective, something that's a little fun. So I'm really trying to think about what that is. I recently saw a game where you do have to survive and you have to defeat waves of enemies. But as part of defeating waves of enemies that get increasingly more difficult, you need to mine. But as part of mining, you have something on the side that you're destroying. And then when you destroy it, you get something. So I'm wondering if there is an objective that you can complete that only you can complete with money or towers or something. So I'm looking for that hook. I think once I find that, that's going to change this and my mindset about them darn waves quite a bit. Anyways, so let's look at this. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate into, I already did the 4. Go ahead and get it duplicated into 4. Let me disconnect the 3, reconnect, and get our 4 on there. It's already done. And then let's take a look at 4 in the inspector mode and throw something on here. So we have 4. We're all in this together. 4. 3. 3. Okay. And then let's take a look at 2. Did I have something on there? And 1. So let's look at the 2D. It quits off the screen. That's a problem. Let's go ahead and come here and I'm going to bump it up and to the left, and it's going to look okay. Hey, that's it. I said 2 minutes. I've done a lot of rambling in there too. But anyways, I'm going to shut up and let's go take a look at this. So here we go. We have level 1. Boring. Boring. We've already been here. Let's go to level 2. All right, we got a little more interest. I mean, I haven't been staring at this for days. We just created it today. Level 3. Holy wow, this is the one I created with my wife and daughter. I was going for something a little different, but there it is. There it is. Anyways, I hope you learned something today. I am still having a great frickin' time. And I'm going to keep going until I'm not. And even at that point, I'm not going to stop learning. I am going to continue writing this until the end. So, am I going to be creating games forever? You know what? Who knows? We'll see. Am I having fun right now? Yeah, I'm having so much fun. So anyways, I hope you learned something. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And definitely, I'll see you tomorrow.